Sex workers were protesting and striking over the Grand Prix weekend here in Montreal. You may have seen the headlines. The movement was organized by the Sex Work Autonomous Committee, and they say it was a success.
We want! We want!
Hundreds of people showed up to the protest. A member of SWAC, who wanted to be identified as Kit, says the club she dances at saw a lot of mobilization. Those who mobilized want employee status, to remove bar fees in strip clubs, and decriminalize the industry. Kit says that managers were vocal about the demands. We even saw some dancers get fired.
Some managers were talking about it and defending the bar fee, kind of thinking it was just plain stupid to give us a wage. There were some firings, which is to be expected when people are striking. So yeah, there's a little bit of a response from management for sure.
However, another group of sex workers who go by pleasers on the ground were against the strike, and they say they don't want to remove the bar fees or become employees. One of their members, who goes by Nina on Substack, says they were concerned the strike would lead to job loss. SWAC set up a mutual aid fund for those who were fired or received any repercussions and needed financial assistance. As of filming, SWAC says they raised enough to help everyone who applied to the fund. The bar fees managers were defending referred to the amount dancers have to pay to reserve a spot in a club. According to Kit, those amounts could range from $25 to $100 a night, while changing based on events or from dancer to dancer.
We've definitely got reports of people of color having to pay a higher bar fee than white folks at clubs, and also just clubs raising the bar fee, like tripling it overnight essentially without any warning. For example, for F1, there was a club that was charging $140 each night.
SWAC believes getting rid of the fee and introducing a salary would help dancers make a livable wage, especially when nights are slow and fees are high. Some dancers leave with less than they walked in with. Nina stated why pleasers on the ground were against the removal of the bar fees. They say dancers currently keep a large share of their income. The bar fee also gives them autonomy to pick when they work. You may be wondering how they could remove bar fees across clubs run by different owners. Well, Kit says that sex workers would have to work together in their own strip clubs or parlors to implement the changes.
Wherever you might be, should organize as a collective and negotiate with the boss as a collective. So we're not really pushing for any sort of policy change, but rather like an organized workforce that has power against the boss.
Another issue at the core of these discussions is employee status. Kit says that it already looks a lot like employment, except without the benefits or protections that SWAC seeks.
Employee status is extremely important to me. I essentially have a boss and I don't receive a wage. I do unpaid labor every night at work, and my club depends on me.
With employee status, sex workers would benefit from specific codes and laws that would need to be implemented. SWAC member KC says that these implementations would help prevent discriminatory practices and racial quotas.
Through employee status, you kind of have to follow a specific set of rules that's given in the code and the laws that are out there. And you can't really just be a boss and be like, I want 2 black girls maximum tonight. I want 1 brown girl and the rest just white girls. Okay, it has to be pretty much anybody can work.
Others believe that this could lead to more discrimination. Nina believes that this employment model could lead to discrimination in the earlier stages. Applications, interviews, and subjective criteria all potentially create new opportunities for racial, bodily, and linguistic bias. According to Nina, many sex workers are currently able to control their hours, take breaks when they need to, and turn down customers. They say this flexibility is necessary for many dancers living with invisible disabilities, disorders, and chronic illnesses. Pleasers on the ground say that with the new model, these benefits may go away. They also suggest that a salary and commission is often less advantageous, and some strip clubs could be taking money from private dances. In Canada, since 2014, it's been legal to sell your own sexual services. However, it's still illegal to be the one to purchase those services. The illegality of the industry extends to being a pimp running a brothel, or advertising for someone else's sexual services. There's many challenges that sex workers face. One of those is being seen as criminals. KC says that one thing all sex workers can agree on is decriminalizing the industry.
I know for a fact that everyone wants decriminalization. We want rights. We don't want to be seen as criminals. We just want to work.
Justice Canada told Local 514 that full decriminalization is not being considered at the moment. For Local 514, I'm Zach Dutra.